cut my best friend's hair and didn't realize I was in love with him until he drooled toothpaste on his shirt. It started because he mentioned he hadn't had a haircut in 4 months, and I mentioned offhand that I cut my own. He looked at me the way people look at someone who just said they do their own dental work. You cut your own hair. I said yes. He said it looked good. I said thank you. He said could I do his? I should have said no. I said sure. He came over the following Saturday, and I sat him down in my bathroom with a towel around his shoulders, and that's when it occurred to me that I was about to put my hands on a person I'd never once touched. We'd been friends for 3 years, not a single hug. We were both just like that, comfortable in our own separate space, no contact required, a perfectly functional friendship operating entirely at arm's length. I said sorry every time I moved his head. He said stop apologizing every time I said sorry. I put a playlist on to fill the silence, and his eyes drifted shut, and he breathed slower, and I tried very hard to focus on the scissors and not on the fact that his hair was genuinely, unreasonably soft. When I finished, I told him to shower and get the loose hairs off. He handed me his shirt to throw in the wash. I took mine off too, because I had the same problem. The bathroom door swung open twice while he was in there. Hot water question, shampoo question, and both times I was standing there in just a bra, and neither of us reacted. No flinch, no apology. It felt completely ordinary, which, in retrospect, was the least ordinary thing that had happened to me in years. We went out that night, and he told everyone at the table that I'd cut his hair. He checked his reflection 3 times before we left. He was looser than I'd seen him in months, laughing at things that weren't even that funny, leaning back in his chair like something had come unwound. He'd been having a hard year. Watching him feel okay for a few hours felt like something I wanted to protect. On the way home, he held my hand going down some steps because I was in heels. I grabbed his arm when someone said something that startled me. By the time I closed my front door behind me, I had been touched more times in one evening than in the entire previous year of knowing him. I told myself it was just a recalibration. We'd crossed one physical threshold and the others followed naturally. That was all this was. I kept telling myself that for about 6 weeks. I got laid off in the middle of those 6 weeks, which clarified certain things. He told me his company was hiring. I applied. I got it. The job was better than my old one in every measurable way, and it happened to be in his city, and I tried not to examine that sequence of events too carefully. I stayed at his place while I looked for my own. The first night I was there, I had 2 glasses of wine and told him I needed to ask him something. He turned off the television. I told him I wasn't sure my feelings about him were entirely platonic anymore, and I was sorry if that made things weird. He was quiet for a moment. Then he said his feelings had felt different since that weekend, too. That it had taken him a while to name it. That when he got home after the haircut and I wasn't there, he felt the absence of something he hadn't known he was carrying. He asked if I was uncomfortable with that. I said no. He asked if I wanted to go on a date the next day, an actual real official date, and I said yes before I finished hearing the question. The date was so good, it was almost annoying. We went to dinner and then he took me salsa dancing, which I would have called a completely unthinkable activity 3 months earlier. He's a good dancer. Embarrassingly good. After one song that made me laugh until my face hurt, he kissed me and I kissed him back, and everything went very quiet in my head in a way it almost never does. A few weeks later I found a flat I liked and told him I needed to pack my things. He looked at me for a long moment and asked why I would do that. I said because that's how you do it. You get your own place first. You take it slowly. You let things develop properly. He said we'd known each other for 3 years. We'd already seen each other through the bad stretches. We already knew how the other person moved through the world. To him it felt less like moving fast and more like finally catching up to something that had been true for a while. He didn't press. He just said it clearly and then left it with me. That night he made dinner and left me a plate because I got home late. He was brushing his teeth when I got in. I pushed the bathroom door open and said something stupid just to say hello, and he smiled so wide he drooled toothpaste foam onto his shirt. I reached over and wiped it off without thinking. We laughed about it. He finished washing up. I sat down and ate my dinner. I spent the rest of the meal trying to find one reason I wouldn't want to come home to that every day. I came up completely empty. I didn't take the flat.